guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Jasmine McDonald and I post ballet and fitness related videos every single week. I'm a former professional ballerina and through my career I had several injuries, and that's what this video is all about today. We're going to be talking about injuries and my experience with them and my advice for when you're dealing with an injury. Obviously this advice is not medical advice because I am not a medical expert, but the advice is going to be more so hopefully inspirational advice because I want you to know essentially that you are not alone. Let's get into it. So like I said, in my professional career, I have sustained numerous injuries. The first injury that I can actually remember was, I want to say it was like an ankle injury. No, you know what it was? It was my bunion being in a lot of pain. I was in grade 9. It was my first year at full-time ballet school, and I was just getting used to dancing every single day, 6 days a week. So not every single day, but 6 days a week is a huge jump from dancing like 3 or 4 times a week, even once a week, even 3 or 4 times a week. It's a huge jump. So I was just getting used to that, and I was also just getting used to pointe shoes. I had just started pointe that year before I went to ballet school in January of 2010, and I went to the ballet school in July of 2010. Started the ballet school for the full year program in September of 2010. Now, my first injury, going back to it, was in my foot, and it was my bunion, and honestly, I think the injury had to do a lot with getting used to wearing pointe shoes every day versus wearing pointe shoes like once a week for 20 or 30 minutes. And it was a huge culture shock to be wearing pointe shoes that often, every day, breaking them in every few days because I had no foot strength starting out pointe that late compared to some of my classmates. And I remember going through pointe shoes so quickly and my pointe shoes getting so broken in. But I ultimately attribute that injury to having really broken in pointe shoes, not having enough strength. And I remember I was really down on myself because it was my first year and I didn't want to be like injured and out. And I wasn't out. It was just something I had to deal with physio. So that injury didn't really affect me as deeply as some of the others. But it was my first taste of an injury, and it sucked because I think when you're a dancer, you're so used to having control over your body, or at least being able to control your entire body. But when you have this one part of your body that's hurting and you're told to rest it, or you're not supposed to use it a certain way because that certain way was straining it or whatever, it can be really difficult because again, you're used to controlling all of your body, and this little part of your body, because it is a little part usually, even if it's a big part, like we'll get to in a bit when I broke my hip, spoiler alert, even if it's a big part, it's actually a small part of your body if you think about it. And I had a teacher tell me that once because again, I had a foot injury and I was really down about it. This was a few years later, and I remember feeling so sad about the fact that I couldn't dance full out, I couldn't jump, I couldn't do this. And she just reminded me, Jasmine, this is like 2% of your body, this part of your foot. Use the rest of your body. Dance, enjoy it, because that's only a small part that you can't use, or that whatever. So that was really helpful advice. The next injury that I had, I was very lucky in ballet school. I never really had any big injuries until my last year, which my last year in high school, I was injury free. And when I came back after dancing at San Francisco Ballet School, I came back after having a summer of nonstop dancing, having a full year of nonstop dancing. And the year after, I got a stress fracture in my foot. That was the first major injury. And that was the time that my teacher said, don't worry, it's just a small portion of your body. You can still use all this, even if you're in a boot. So the first time that I realized I was in pain, I actually didn't speak up. And that's another reason I want to make this video, because I've made my share of mistakes. And I want to let you guys know that speaking up is so important to not only your physical health, but your mental health. Because I remember I didn't speak up. I just pushed through the pain because I thought that was normal. And it certainly isn't normal. Like, you know when your body's in pain versus just, oh, this is soreness, muscle soreness, or what have you. And I didn't speak up, and I danced on it for 3 months in fear that I would miss out. Now, I ignored the fact that I was in so much pain that I could hardly walk. I would literally have to hobble to school because I could hardly walk on this foot. And it didn't even cross my mind that it could have been something bigger. I thought it was just a sprain or some pain, and I put like Tiger Balm on it. I put so much Tiger Balm on it that I got a rash, I remember. And I'd massage it every single day. I'd go to all these like acupuncture appointments and what have you. And finally, I saw the doctor. I saw the sports physio. They did an x-ray and he said, okay, I'm seeing a lot of swelling, not a lot of what this is. So I'm going to send you to an MRI. By the way, it's probably a stress fracture, he told me. And I was like, no, it's not. It's not. And it was. So I was post-secondary training at this ballet school, sorry, brain fart. And I had to miss, I think I took 4 weeks off to start. I'd slowly come back after 6 weeks. So I took another 6 weeks, or I took a total of 6 weeks off. The first 4 weeks I was completely off. And then I was just so restless. He told me, okay, you can do like, I don't know, biking, anything not on your foot. I didn't have a boot at this time. He didn't think I needed it. And I started to go back to classes the second that the 6 weeks was over without seeing the doctor. And the pain was not any better. Probably was worse than I thought too, because I danced on it for 3 months. So after 6 weeks, we went back and he said, yep, it's still very much a stress fracture. You're gonna need a boot. By the way, I'm going on vacation, so leave the boot on for 10 weeks. Okay, so I left the boot on for 10 weeks. I had one of the air casts. I went to prom in an air cast. Very Bella Swan of me. That's all to say, if you are feeling pain, get it checked out, because trust me, yes, it sucks to have to take time off, especially if you're trying to hold out. Because I was trying to hold out for auditions. Because I was auditioning that year. I was trying to hold out for auditions for shows. I didn't want to miss out. And I didn't. But I also didn't get into anything. I didn't get any roles. I didn't get into companies because I was so injured. I was actually doing worse on my technique because I was injured and in pain. You can't dance well when you're in pain. So yes, it sucks to miss out on opportunities and things, but it sucks more to spend 16 weeks not dancing. So that was my first major injury, and I was pretty lucky for most of my dancing career. After that injury, I auditioned a few places, and I eventually, you guys know the story, I got into a company. Yay! And in my last year at that company, I had the biggest injury I will have ever had to date, which was a stress fracture in my femur. So I had a stress fracture in my femur, which is in your hip. And I was only 22 at the time. And I remember, same thing, waking up one morning and I stood up, and I've never felt that kind of pain in my whole entire life. It was the worst pain I've ever been through. Like, I can't even begin to describe how bad the pain was. It is the most pain I've ever been in my entire life. So after that, I of course went to ballet class. And I continued dancing on it. Obviously that's sarcasm. Do not dance when you're in that much pain. Don't dance with pain in general. Let your teacher know. Let your doctor know. Check out with a medical professional. Don't do what I did. And that's why I'm making this video. Don't do what I did. So yeah, I danced on it for a while. It got really bad to the point where, again, I woke up one day and I could not move. I couldn't even get out of bed because the pain had radiated through my back and down my leg, and I couldn't feel my leg. And I had no idea what was happening. I knew something was wrong, and I said, I have to go to the hospital. So I went to the hospital and the emergency room. I didn't have to wait that long, which was nice. And they basically told me, yeah, it's just like sciatica back pain, just rest. And I was like, I don't think it is. So I told my artistic director at the ballet company how much pain I was in. And I don't think anybody suspected it would be this kind of an injury, because nobody expects a 22-year-old to break their hip or to have a stress fracture in your hip. So anyways, I told them, and they're like, okay, like, yeah, go whenever, right? They booked me the appointment. I basically told them, like, I cannot move. And they were very, very supportive with that. They sent me to the doctor, and the doctor did the x-ray and was like, I see a lot of swelling, and I am seeing something that looks like a stress fracture. It's either a stress fracture, which I've actually never seen in my career, or it could be like, I think he was trying to explain like arthritis or something. And he said then I'd have to have surgery to like shave down the top of the femoral head, because in the x-ray, he could actually see for my structure, my femur was too big for my hip socket anatomically. And he knew I was a ballet dancer. He said, when you rotate, like I can see that it's too big and you have this limitation. Obviously, I pushed that limitation and cheated my technique and consistently forced my turnout the wrong way, to the point where I got a stress fracture. Again, I didn't expect to have a stress fracture there. And he even said, like, it's pretty unlikely because I've never seen that in my entire life. Long and behold, I get the MRI the next day and he's like, yep, okay, wow, it's a stress fracture in your hip. So because it's in your femur, it's a little bit different, at least from what I understood when he told me, than like a smaller bone. It's such a big bone. He was like, 10 to 12 weeks bed rest, see you in 12 weeks. So that's what I had to do. And it was miserable. So those are the main injuries. I had a couple other ones, like some little sprains, some pulled muscles and stuff like that. But between those two stress fractures, I think the biggest learning lesson that I know now, going through that experience, is that it's so important to speak up when you have an injury, no matter if you feel like your teacher will listen, or you feel nervous or scared, or you feel like you're going to miss out on opportunities. Your physical health is not worth sacrificing over anything. Number one. Number two, the sooner you get it checked out, the sooner you're back. Take it from me. If I had gotten both of those injuries checked out sooner, I would have been back sooner. Probably missed out on less opportunities in the end anyways, rather than trying to hold out for opportunities and then eventually having to take more time off. I was actually told that too when I came in for that last injury with the hip fracture. I remember the doctor telling me, you're really lucky you came in at the time you did, because he showed me in the MRI, the crack had almost cleanly broken all the way to the end. And he said if that had happened, if you had cleanly, yes, it's a fracture, so it's not like a break, but it could have, if you kept going for a long time, or even for a short amount of time, it could have been almost irreversible damage. You would have needed surgery, he said, and you wouldn't be able to walk for a while. And I was like, okay. And then he said, so are you going to take time off? I'm like, well, I can't. And he's like, okay, then you're not going to walk. So if you are someone that you feel pain, speak up about it, because no one else is for you. Only you are. And once you do, people will speak up for you because they understand. People can't read your minds anyways, right? Teachers can't read your minds. Directors can't read your minds. Doctors can't read your minds. You have to speak up for yourself. Be your biggest advocate to get the help. Secondly, if you have an injury, deal with it, and don't worry about missing out on things. I think the hardest thing that I found during my injury was also realizing that I am not just a ballet dancer. There's more to me, and I have to find something else to do with my time since I can't do this one thing. It was very hard for me mentally and emotionally to not dance, especially my last injury, because I was bedridden basically for 10 to 12 weeks. It was also hard emotionally because I was going through a breakup at the time. I was dumped and it was hard. So that definitely added to it. But even without that, I really struggled with my own identity in who am I? What am I doing? Who is Jasmine? And I'm happy that I went through it. Not happy that I went through the pain, but I am happy that I had that time to figure out who I am. Obviously, I would have rather not gone through that injury. But through that time that I had off, I discovered I like to read and crochet, and I already knew I liked those things, but it gave me more time to discover other things too. I don't know, I got really into watching certain shows that I didn't think I would like Breaking Bad. I don't know. So if you are injured, just know that this isn't the end of your career either. Now, this injury didn't lead to the end of my career. It was near the end of my career, but I bounced back and I was fine. And injuries don't always mean their career ending, especially if you address them. Again, I'm not a doctor. I know that some injuries can be very, very detrimental, and unfortunately, a lot of injuries for dancers could lead to career-ending decisions. But the dancer might leave ballet, but you can never take ballet out of who you are. You can never take that out of you. It's always going to be part of you, even if you're not actively doing it in the moment. I remember enjoying watching ballets and enjoying watching my friends dance. I'd go to performances all the time. I'd go to the rehearsals all the time. I'd just hobble over. I was very lucky that my dance company, the Opera House, was literally across the street from my apartment. So I'd literally just elevator door, hobble over and sit and watch my friends. And yes, I was supposed to be on bed rest, but I would walk over and watch them. And I don't think it played a role into my healing because obviously it's totally fine. That was 7 or 8 years ago. Anyways, all to say, if you are dealing with an injury, it's okay. It happens to the best of us. And I know it's really, really challenging, but know that you're not alone. Know that you need to advocate for yourself, for your physical health, as well as your mental well-being. On that note, I hope you enjoyed this sit down chit chat. I've been enjoying these lately because I have more free time. And let me know what other topics you want me to talk about. And until next time, bye now.